All right, it's science experiment time. So the question we are trying to answer today is what happens when we combine matter? Now, before we get started with our science experiment, there's a few things that you need to do before. Number one, you need an adult. So check out step number 1 and read it. It says, before you start, you must have an adult with you to supervise and make sure you are safe. That's step number 1. Step number 2, now that you have an adult with you and you're ready to start your experiment, it's time to collect your materials to do the experiment. What are you going to need? 3 things that you're going to need are clear containers. You need 3 of them. They don't have to be glass, they can be plastic, but one of them needs to be microwavable. Not sure what you might be able to use? I provided you an example picture here, but like I said, they don't have to be those exact containers. However, one does have to be microwavable. Now, the next thing that you're going to need are 3 different liquids from around your house. Be careful though, if you see any of these signs on the liquids, do not use them. So these are the signs you want to look for down here in the little red boxes. If you see any of them, do not use them. Make sure you have an adult with you to help you pick out the liquids that you're going to use. Remember, one of them is going to have to be microwaved. Here are the liquids that I chose to do my experiment. I'm using vinegar, milk, and water. I will be microwaving the milk to see what happens. Remember, I'm only going to microwave it for about 30 seconds. Next up, you need 3 different items that are solid. They do not have to be the exact ones that you see here, but the ones that I chose today are sprinkles, raisins, and cocoa. I'm going to mix the raisins in with the vinegar, the cocoa in with the milk, and the sprinkles in with the water. I wonder what's going to happen.
We are almost ready to do our experiment, but there's one last thing that we need to do. You need to get the device ready that you are going to use to record your observations. If you have a device with Seesaw, use that device to scan the QR code and you can record a video with your observations. If you do not have a device that has Seesaw on it, that's okay. You can take pictures and have the adult that's working with you send me an email with those pictures along with the observations that you have from the experiment. It's experiment time. Are you ready? Are you excited? I am. I can't wait to see what you explore and what you discover. Along the bottom of the assignment page, you are going to see 4 questions. You need to make sure that you answer these questions as you do your experiment. Each time you mix a new liquid with a solid, answer those 4 questions. What do you see? What do you smell? What happened to the liquid? What happened to the solid? Today I'm going to show you an example of what might happen with your experiment from some things that I found in my own home. This is my first mixture. I am combining raisins with vinegar. I wasn't too sure what was going to happen, but what I see here is there are bubbles forming around the raisins. I smelled it, and all I really smell is vinegar. It didn't change. The liquid has stayed the same, and so has the solids. That's kind of interesting. This is my second mixture. I warmed up this milk in the microwave for about 30 seconds. We'll talk more about that in another lesson. I'm mixing the cocoa in with the milk. It's not really mixing together very well. It smells like chocolate milk. The liquid's changing color a little bit, but the solid is kind of staying in clumps. This is my third mixture. I'm mixing the sprinkles in with the water. I notice already that the watercolor has changed. The liquid seems to be changing color. It's almost kind of green. I'm going to mix it up a little bit with a spoon. Wow, look at that. The solid is changing color, but it's staying a solid. The liquid is green. This is what my liquids looked like after about 5 minutes. I see that some of the solids have changed and some have stayed the same. I wonder what will happen with the liquids and solids that you find in your home.